Time now for a grill thrill. Bridget Wasser, Executive Director of Meat Science, Culinary, and Supply Chain Outreach at the National Cattlemen'S Beef Association, is here with barbecue tips. Can you share some best practices for grilling beef successfully? How do people get the most for their money?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got 3 simple tips. One would be to make sure you pick the right cut for grilling. So grilling is a high heat, dry heat cooking method, and it's perfect for really tender steaks like ribeye or strip steak or tenderloin or T-bone. So those work perfect on the grill, just like a burger does as well. And you can swap in some of those cuts. They're pretty interchangeable, and you can definitely find something that works for everyone that you're feeding. But you do want to marinate the cuts that need it. So you want to make sure that you have, if you're doing a flank steak or a skirt steak, something like that, that's a little bit less tender, that you make a nice marinade that has some of your favorite flavors. But just make sure there's some acidic ingredients there, like citrus juice, maybe some natural enzymes like those in ginger or pineapple, great seasonings. And you want to marinate that beef for 6 to up to 24 hours prior to grilling to help tenderize it. And gives you that kind of convenience factor. You can marinate the cut in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours before you're going to be grilling it. And then you want to make sure you brown your beef, but don't overdo it. But you can pat your steaks dry with a paper towel before you grill them, just to allow that great browning action to happen when beef's on the grill. And that browning really allows beef's natural flavors to come through. And while we're talking about those natural flavors, I'd really recommend just seasoning it very simply with salt and pepper. Just, again, let those great beef flavors come through with some simple seasoning. You don't need a lot there.
What are some common grilling mistakes?
Well, I think one of the most common is turning beef on the grill with a fork instead of tongs. So you want to use a nice pair of tongs to turn your beef on the grill. You don't want to use a fork because you're going to pierce into the steak and you're going to allow a lot of those natural juices to run right out of the steak. A big one would also be eyeballing doneness, or even worse, cutting into your steak while it's still on the grill to see if you have that, if it's done yet. And that's really going to dry out the steak. So you want to use just a simple instant read thermometer to make sure you're always taking the temperature of your beef on the grill. That's going to avoid any disappointment of, pulling your great steaks off the grill and slicing it into them to serve, and they're just not the right temperature. And then the last one is another big one. It's make sure you let your steak rest before you slice into it. So just pull it from the grill, let it rest at least 5 minutes. I know it's hard to wait, but that extra 5 minutes is just going to allow all the juices to redistribute inside your beef and make sure that they don't run out on your plate when you slice into it, because we all want that nice juicy steak.
Tell us about the United We Steak Summer Grilling Campaign and where people can go for information and grilling tips.
Absolutely, yes. So Beef It's What's for Dinner, funded by the Beef Checkoff, has created a brand new website, unitedwesteak.com, just for the summer grilling season. It's got an interactive map of all 50 states cut by hand and assembled into a map of the United States. So you can click on your state of choice, maybe where you live or one of your favorite states that you usually travel to in the summer but you can't get to this summer. And you'll find great recipes that are popular in those states. You'll find awesome grilling tips. You'll find cut information, just a lot of inspiration to make sure your barbecues are a success this summer.
Well, thank you for all those tips and have a great summer.
Thanks so much for having me.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.